So the way that we start our dogs off in scent work and scent training is building the report and the alert. Same thing, essentially. But we do this with classical conditioning. We have a colander with a scent mark 10. That 10 is going to have a Q-tip with a scent training oil, clove, is the one that I can recall off the top of my head. But essentially, that oil is placed on the Q-tip. The Q-tip is going to be placed inside the container. That container is going to be under the colander. That container is also going to have holes so that the scent protrudes through the container and subsequently through the colander. And we guide our dogs toward the colander, and as soon as their head goes within the colander, then we have our treats in hand, and we are consistently and successively feeding the treats one by one into the colander. So we have we have a steady stream of rewards while the dog's head is within the colander. We continue this until you're almost out of treats. Once you're almost out, we don't want the dog to be forcibly taken away from the colander, so we want to lure the dog away by putting the treats next to their nose, and then guiding them with that lure away from the colander, whilst then removing the colander again away from the dog's grasp. We repeat these steps over and over until the dog understands and the dog knows and will offer the behavior of leaving their head within the colander, and then waiting for the rewards, waiting for your marker of feeding. This is going to be kind of the first portion of the classical conditioning. Once this is over, and they're consistently leaving their head within the colander, awaiting treats, then we can start adjusting the criteria and then looking for the next steps, which is going to be precision and then duration. With precision, we're going to be doing, with duration, they're basically done in the same way. Essentially, you would drop, when you do an exercise and your dog leaves their head into the colander, we wait for an observed behavior. Typically, for the precision portion of it, you're going to wait for their chin to tuck a little bit, and then we mark that and then repeat that mark. With the duration, we don't want to do this at the same time, but with the duration, when you're feeding, instead of doing a constant stream, you would feed once, wait a second or 2 seconds, and then feed again, wait a second, and you're constantly delaying or the feeding, so that the dog anticipates the wait without adjusting. So they'll leave their head within the colander, not moving, and then awaiting their reward, and you gradually extend the time that they're going to be the difference and intervals of the rewarding. So again, with the precision, just like we did with the classical conditioning of now the dog's head is within the colander, now we are gradually building upon those little chin tucks and those little bits of duration until the end point, once we've had several rounds and rounds of repetition after repetition, not all at once, but after each sets of exercise. That your dog's given behavior or their offered behavior is going to be their head in the colander, their chin tucked, and waiting for a treat. At that point, if they're doing that 100% successful, you've completed the classical conditioning portion, the raw classical conditioning portion of this, and we can move on to the next steps.